here in the booth with one of the most popular items every year is George Brett.
Well, I don't know that.
Sure it is. Sure it is.
We have a good time.
Dinner with George again this year, right?
Well, we did dinner about 4 or 5 years in a row, and then last year I think the Royals got mad because somebody spends a lot of money to have dinner.
Right.
And we take a lot of that money and we bought too much wine at dinner. And so they said, how about we just do batting practice at the stadium? We'll give them a boxed lunch. And we did a boxed lunch at the stadium, but the problem was it rained all the day before and all night, and it rained all morning, so all we did was take batting practice in the cage.
Darn it.
Yeah.
Did you buy as much wine for batting practice as you did during dinner? No.
No.
Okay.
Oh, but hey, now this is how much is it going to cost him, Rhino, for dinner with Joe, Hall of Fame?
All depends on how you and I do as salesmen on Wednesday night.
Right.
There's some heat on us, you know.
Did he?
Look at this. No. Well, you know, this is going to be the shortest inning of the year.
It always is. It always is.
And then you always say, can you stay for another half an inning?
Right.
You know, 3 more outs.
So is it batting practice again this year?
No, it's
going
dinner.
back to dinner.
It's dinner at Capitol Grill.
Great.
We get a private room. I always bring John Wathan, an ex-manager and a teammate of mine.
Right.
And then we bring Jason Kendall. And if you speak Chinese, you'll understand him perfectly. I can't understand Jason at noon, let alone 8 o'clock at night. But
he talks ball, though. He does talk ball.
And if the Royals, sometimes we do it when the Royals are on the road, so we can watch the game in a private room.
Right.
And to hear Jason's perspective and a manager, John Wathan's perspective on the game, it's totally different because I just played the game. I just worried about playing third base and hitting. I didn't worry about what everybody else was doing. But Jason is a catcher and John is a catcher and a manager. They watch a game completely different than I do. That's why I love sitting with those guys during ball games, which I do whenever they're in town.
Not that catch. Garcia in center field. Alex hits it hard but out. Hud, would you rather have George Brett slide into you at second base in a double play spot or Jason Kendall?
Jason Kendall, because he's not as fast as George. And when George got there, there wasn't going to be a little welcome card that he was going to bring. You know, when I got to the big leagues in '84, world champion second baseman Willie Randolph pulled me aside and said, "Kid, there's a couple guys in the league that will not just break up a double play on you, they could end your career." And I went, "Really? And who is that?" Al McRae and George Brett.
And you welcomed that. You said, "I want them.
I want
really?
them.
I want to stick my knee in their neck."
No, at that time I was a little nervous because I was young. but George, there's nothing better than to have a reputation like that.
I know it. I loved it.
Huh?
That was the highlight of the day.
Come on with it, man.
You got a chance to break up a double play. Oh my God.
Would you have a hard time playing in today's game?
Oh, well, I saw the slide Machado slid into Dustin Pedroia, and everybody's going, "What a bad slide." I'm going, "What was that? What are you talking about?"
That was on the norm. That was every day.
Yeah. Oh, it wasn't even. God, I would have felt bad only hitting him that hard.
You might have gotten fined in kangaroo court if you only slid into him like that.
God, I thought you had a reputation.
Well, they don't want to hurt anybody anymore.
Yeah.
Where was that when Hal roadblocked Willie into left field?
Exactly. Well, that's who I learned it from. I learned it from Hal McRae, and he learned it from Pete Rose and Joe Morgan and the guys on the Reds when he played for the Cincinnati Reds before he got traded over.
Wow.
And I said, "Man, that looks like a lot of fun, Hal. I'd never thought about doing that." I said, "How do you do that?" So he said, "You just slide and then roll."
And then roll again.
And if you can, pin him to the ground, right?
And then he...
Bonifacio into center field with 2 down. That's the part of the Hal McRae slide into Willie Randolph that there's only really one frame. But were you the runner?
I hit the ball.
Okay,
I hit the ball.
Who was the runner? Because he starts waving somebody home.
Yeah,
Freddie was.
I've got him pinned to the ground. Go home. I mean, that's my favorite part about that highlight.
I remember it was I think I had 2 strikes on me, and Guidry was pitching, and it was a playoff game, and had to be first and second or first and third, and I had just tried to hit the ball the other way, and I hit a ground ball. Nettles made a good play on, and he threw it to second, and obviously Willie didn't even throw it to first.
No. You kidding? They changed the
He
rule.
didn't get the ball out of his glove on that one.
Did they change the rule the next year?
Yeah, it was the next year, I think. You had to kind of stay around the bag. You couldn't end up on the outfield grass.
So same way with Utley. Yeah.
Yeah.
So Utley, they changed the rule the next year for him
Yeah.
too. But George, speaking of that Utley play, have you ever seen a shortstop take the ball and turn his back to the runner like that and do a little pirouette?
No.
So when I saw that happening, I'm going, oh no, you can't do that.
You're open. You're open.
Wide open.
Wide open.
Know who's running.
Yep.
Where's your buddy
Well,
to
what
say,
did
hey?
Willie Randolph tell you?
Right.
You got to know who's running.
You got to know. Utley is like you, George. He plays the game
Yep.
the same way. He should have known better.
Now, George, we're not going to have you here on Wednesday, so we need you to give us that little extra touch of selling the item of Capitol Grill.
Well, Capitol
Putting you
Grill
on the spot.
it is my favorite restaurant in town.
Okay.
I mean, if you want a steak, they have the great bone-in filet. We can order anything off the menu you want. They have the great calamari. We'll get any appetizers you want. We'll get a private room. I don't know how many people you get to bring, but it is a wonderful night. It's something that I look forward to doing every year, and hopefully somebody will look forward to doing it with us this year.
It'll command a big price tag, I'm forecasting.
I hope so. It's for a good cause.
That's right.
And we won't have
For a good
trouble
cause.
selling that, George. Thanks for coming up.
Yeah,
You got
thanks,
it, pal.
George.
You got